Well, apparently Kanye West decided to do an anti-Semitism, or Ye West. I mean, he technically did change his name. Either way, a couple of people are defending him now. The first one I want to talk about is Lauren Chen, because why not? Why not go ahead and just deliver the pain directly into my brain cells? First piece we have here is from Sky Lily 222222220. I made a creepy ghost, Suris. Yes, you did. Even one of these eyes looks very bloodshot. There's a little bit of blood here. It almost... Jesus, there's even blood trailing behind the hammer. Fuck, this is a gruesome version. The next one we have here is from an Airborne Cat, a fan art chibi of Suris Skeptic. Couldn't find the art tag, so I just tagged on Twitter instead. High quality version is on Remixon's Discord. This is adorable. This is like... This could be a fig pin, basically. Like, I would take this and turn it into an acrylic pin. 110%. The next one we have, and the last one for today, is from Kitsune Non-Mander Umua. I am bad at pronouncing things, so correct me in the comment section. I like drawing weapons and sometimes, so I decided to make a non-lethal yet fun one as a Suris homage, a slime gun. Also, on the fire select, it has a safe, semi-auto, and a hose mode, which is with the last one depicted with a small swoop-de-whoop picture. Careful, it kicks. Everything's there. It's gonna... God, it almost even looks like a lever action a little bit. It's got a hammer keychain on it and everything. I love the hammer aesthetic. I love that it's maintained. I'm so happy about this. Anyway, as always, everybody, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop into the fan art section of the Discord. With that all said, if you haven't subscribed already or hit the bell notification icon, maybe consider doing so, as those things help out the channel immensely. You could also go to the channel's Patreon, where you get to see behind-the-scenes content, among other things. So, let's go ahead and get into the actual conversation. There's a video on Lauren Chen's channel called Should the Right Cancel Kanye West? And I know that I didn't get to this immediately when it happened because I was in Oregon. I'm playing catch-up for a few days. I'm sorry, everyone. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and take a look. M.A. Shark Beast says, just don't spray the Statue of Liberty. Dark Beast, I will spray whatever I want. It's marking my territory. Anyways.
Hey, Lauren here. Let's talk about the whole Kanye West situation. As we all know by now, Kanye West seems to be in another one of those phases where he is very interested in talking about social issues, current events, and politics. We saw this.
And by current events, she means the Jews. Because that's what he was talking about. Let's keep going.
Previously from him before at around 2016, he ended up kind of backing away from these issues, but now that perhaps he's divorced from his wife Kim Kardashian, who seemed to be trying to put a muzzle on him when it comes to these more controversial things, he's back at it full speed ahead. Not only did he wear the White Lives Matter shirts with Candace Owens at Fashion Week, but he also did a very highly publicized interview with Tucker Carlson on Fox News, and if you missed it, I did do an entire video dedicated to at least the first part of that interview. Check it out if you haven't already. And now that interview was apparently so long that they chose to break it up into two different parts, airing on 2 different days, and it was right on the heels of the second part of that highly publicized Fox News interview airing that Kanye decided to break the internet a little bit. He posted, "I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people," all caps. The funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jew also. You guys have toyed with me and try to blackball anyone who ever opposes your agenda.
So, let's go ahead and just take a moment to look at this. Can we take a moment to look at this particular tweet? What do you read from this? First of all, is it anti-Semitism? Well, yeah, duh. Like, come on. Come on. There's no arguing that this isn't some form of anti-Semitism. I know that he's trying to say, like, DEF CON instead of Death Con. I'm imagining this was probably a mistype. Either way, this is basically like trying to paint all Jewish people as a giant cabal that's controlling the world. And you're going to expose them for doing it or some shit. And then when you say, like, I can't be anti-Semitic because I'm black. Bitch, what? That's not how things work. That's not how the world works. Jews can be anti-Semitic. In fact, there were people who were Jewish in Nazi Germany who ratted out their own, like, family members to try to survive. Like, not all the time, but you can be anti-white if you're white. You can be anti-black if you're black. And you can be anti-Jew if you're Jewish. This shouldn't take any, like, any brain cells, right? This shouldn't take any consideration to think about why this is stupid. Like, not only are people who are Jewish able to be anti-Semitic because all you have to do is just be the Uncle Ruckus of your minority group, but to say that, like, oh, well, black people are Jewish. What? What? What in the Black Hebrew Israelites is this bullshit? There's only one fucking culty group I can think of that does that, and it's the Black Israelites. It's still a weird ass logic as he claims that all black people are Jewish. Yeah, it's a very, very strange bit of logic. People who neither have shared the ethnicity nor the religion of the Jewish people apparently are all Jewish, according to Kanye West. This doesn't make any fucking sense. So, of course, there is no real way to read this except one part stupidity and one part anti-Semitism. Cool. We've got that. Let's go ahead and see what Lauren has to say about it, though.
So muy caliente, to say the least, and that tweet was very quickly deleted by Twitter. And now, as you can imagine, that tweet, despite getting deleted, did get a lot of very negative attention, with many people rushing to say this proves that Kanye West is not only anti-Semitic, but is actually threatening the lives of Jewish people with that phrase, DEFCON 3. Now,
all right, so let me go ahead and break this down real quick. Kanye West does not need to be himself individually threatening Jewish people for that statement to be a threat. Saying that statement into the ether makes Kanye West fans who emulate the things he does and the things he's said and gauge in anti-Semitism. Kanye West can be the least anti-Semitic person in the world, but if his fans unknowingly or knowingly and just stupidly copy the dumb shit he says and do things in response to the dumb shit he says, that means you are doing, yes, you're doing a stochastic terrorism. Like, it is a dangerous thing to do because it is an irresponsible use of your platform. But okay, sure, why not? Sakura says also even DEFCON 3 is a threat. So DEFCON 3, or DEFCON, is an alert status that is used by the United States Armed Forces. DEFCON 2 and 3 were used for various missile crises. It just means that your force has to have a readiness to defend yourself above the normal amount of standard readiness. So, yeah, it is a form of threat. It's stupid, but it is that.
In my opinion, regardless of what else you think about that tweet, I don't actually think Kanye West was threatening anyone. I think he genuinely thought that DEFCON was actually DEATHCON. And why he chose 3 instead of 1 to 5, no clue. Say what you want about whether this tweet is prejudice or not, but I think it is a very far cry to say that this should count as a threat. And
I mean, it's literally the United States' response to threats. And we respond to threats with violence. So, I don't know how else you're supposed to interpret it. I have no idea.
I know it may surprise some of you to hear this, and it's kind of surprising me actually, but it turns out that this Kanye tweet is actually causing somewhat of a rift, or at least disagreement, in conservative circles, which we're going to be getting into. But first, I do want to say a big thank you to today's sponsor, Noble.
Nope. Absolutely fucking not. Sorry, your sponsors don't get time here. Mine do. We are currently sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. You can click the link if you want. I'm not going to say more than that. Anyways, let's keep going.
And Kanye was Candace Owens, who, when addressing the whole situation in her podcast, said this.
If you're an honest person, when you read this tweet, you had no idea what the hell he was talking about. I had no idea when I read this tweet what the hell he was talking about. This tweet inspired questions, not answers. First,
I mean, yeah, it does inspire questions, but if the question is, why are you talking about the Jews? I'm sorry, no. Discord and Volt, thank you for resubscribing. I appreciate it. But, okay. So saying, hey, this thing about the Jews inspired questions, not answers. That doesn't make it better. Saying that this inspired Jewish questions doesn't make it better, Candace. It doesn't. I'm sorry.
First and foremost, what is DEFCON 3?
Now, that clip was shared very heavily on social media, with a lot of people saying that this was Candace Owens defending Kanye and his anti-Semitic tweets, but
yeah, it kind of is. It's literally playing damage control for Kanye. Like, what do you want? That's the thing that's happening.
I think if you go back and watch that clip and pay very close attention, you will notice that Candace Owens is not really defending Kanye or what he said at all here. Essentially, what she says there is that she didn't understand Kanye's tweet. She doesn't know what he means, and that we should be asking him what exactly he means before rushing to condemn him, and certainly before trying to accuse him of committing another Holocaust.
So, wait a minute. So, if somebody gets up on a podium and starts going, I am going to expose the Jews! I am going to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people! Is your first thing going to be, excuse me, sir, what were you talking about? I would like to know more about this. I would like to ask some questions about this problem you have brought to us. Or should we instead go, hey, buddy, I know history. Maybe don't do that. The last time we let somebody do that, we all had to start killing each other. Could we not? Could we not do that? I feel like that's like the bare minimum. Like, when you know somebody's doing an anti-Semitism, as opposed to being like, hey, why? You could be like, hey, stop. I can understand on an individual basis, if you're in a one-on-one conversation, asking, hey, why? Makes sense. Your friend does something anti-Semitic and you ask, hey, why did you do that? You could have a productive dialogue, and you could get them to get off of their high horse talking about Jewish car parts. Or, in this situation, when we are talking about a person who is talking to millions of people, do we then accept that, no, instead of having one-on-one individual conversation with this person, which is literally impossible at this stage, do we instead just go, hey, you're doing an anti-Semitism, fucking stop? I don't think people understand in the parasocial conversation, we're not Kanye's friends. None of us are Kanye West's friends. We don't have the ability to just talk with him about these things. Instead, when we see something that looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, people are going to respond, that's a fucking duck. And it's an anti-Semitic duck at that.
And you know what? I have to say that I agree with Candace Owens here.
Of course you do. You all play softball for each other.
As I saw that tweet was deleted, I immediately lamented that now we will never know exactly what Kanye West was going to say. And I think,
yes, we can know what he's going to say. What? How? Dude, he's still alive. We can still know that. Deleting the fucking tweet doesn't mean we can't know what he was going to say. What kind of dumb fucking shit is that? Who? If you delete a single tweet, you can still clarify what you meant by the tweet. What kind of delusion do you have to live in? To think that that's impossible now.
I think that is exactly why censorship when it comes to this kind of stuff is such a bad idea.
Oh God, oh poor me, oh God, I'm gonna piss and moan, Jesus Christ. Oh, we didn't get to hear more Nazi shit. Oh man, jeez, man. God, I'm so upset, I'm so depressed. I needed more of that Nazi shit in my life.
If nothing else, actually hearing and waiting to see what Kanye said would have either just solidified the fact that, yeah, the man is bigoted, or maybe absolved him, but now we will never know that.
We can still know that, Lauren. He still has platforms. He can still speak. He can still talk about what he meant. We still can know. You are drinking dumb cum. Stop drinking dumb cum.
That situation, that clarity has been taken from us because Twitter, as usual, was way too fast to hit the ban button. And now this is the part that frustrates me, because here, on the one hand, we have what Kanye West said, his tweet, and some people calling him anti-Semitic. Okay, that's one issue. But once Candace Owens made that statement on her show, basically saying, hey, let's not be too quick to attack someone. Let's try to figure out what he means first, because frankly, we just don't know. That tweet wasn't very clear.
So, on the one hand, I want to agree. Twitter is a hate mob of people who will jump down the throats of anybody no matter what you say. I literally had a fun time pissing off the entire lolly community at one point and watching all of them just delve into reactionary nonsense, and then did a video showing that none of them knew what the fuck I thought. Like, that's a thing that Twitter does. Yes. Twitter as a place where people tend to congregate around other people whom they either engage with to an unhealthy degree or echo chamber around. Yes, Twitter does respond to shit quickly. Not the company, but the people on Twitter. However, that does not mean that we did not have an appropriate amount of information already.
Just for saying that, which, keep in mind, is not really a defense of what Kanye said. It's I don't know what Kanye said.
It's not a defense. It just happens to defend him on accident, strangely. You tripped and fell into the defense, and then the defense got pregnant with your defense baby. It's weird.
Candace Owens has also since been smeared as an anti-Semite. One of the people who shared that clip of Candace online is someone named Jason Campbell. His entire job is just essentially to sit around all day clipping different parts of Daily Wire shows and
pot, meat, kettle. Kettle, meat, pot.
Spreading them online to try to make them look bigoted. In my opinion, though, he usually just makes them look base, especially Matt Walsh. What can you...
He just makes them look based. That's because bigots don't think they are bigots, and fellow bigots think bigots are based. Jesus fucking Christ.
Expect he works for Media Matters for America, which is a trash organization, but when sharing that clip of Candace, he wrote, Candace Owens on Kanye West's anti-Semitic tweet, if you are an honest person, you did not think this tweet was anti-Semitic, adding, it's like you cannot even say the word Jewish without people getting upset. And that thread became a hot spot, not just for calling Kanye West anti-Semitic or Candace Owens wrong for not seeing how it was anti-Semitic, but also calling Candace Owens anti-Semitic. Hannah Kasparian wrote absolute trash. Jim Salter wrote, even after my whole ass life of the GOP and 7 freaking years of the Trumplican GOP, they still regularly manage to take my breath away with their BS. And some
bullshit. The word you're looking for is bullshit. Stop being a coward and use the word. Bullshit.
Someone else named Harris Piskin for Democracy just kind of weighed in with Candace Owens is an effing idiot. It's very
fucking. Candace Owens is a fucking idiot.
Great and meaningful discourse happening over there, but Candace Owens, I think to her credit, never being one to bow down to cancel culture, she kind of doubled down on the fact that she was not willing to condemn Kanye West.
Is any of that cancel culture? That just reads like people giving opinions. Maybe I'm wrong, but that just seems like opinions.
For a tweet she did not understand. And so at the premiere of her new documentary, The Greatest Lie Ever Sold, Candace Owens was actually in attendance with Kanye West. And full disclosure, I was invited to this event. I did go. I did not get to meet Kanye though. A lot of people seemed to meet him afterwards, after the film had screened. I actually kind of had to run home, and this may be TMI, but it's a mom moment, so I'm sharing it because my milk was coming in and I was in a lot of pain, so I had to feed baby. So yes.
Oh, boo-hoo.
That is now forever the story of why I did not get the chance to meet Kanye West. Which brings us to the rift that is being caused in the conservative movement. It seems that people are upset not so much over whether Kanye's tweet was anti-Semitic or not, but whether it's still okay to associate with him or not. Specifically Ben Domenech or Dominic, I'm not sure, I've never heard the name said. I've only ever read it. He's Meghan McCain's husband, though. Of the fact that Candace had Kanye in attendance of the premiere and a bunch of other celebrities, he wrote, "The Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro stand with Kanye, Candace Owens' anti-Semitism, and Kanye's trolling of his ex-wife with the guy who plowed her on camera. Winning the culture looks like this." Yikes. And so with all of that negative attention on Candace for being with Kanye and with what he said about Jewish people, it could come as no surprise, really, that eventually Ben Shapiro weighed in on this whole thing.
Let me just say this. Candace and I disagree about a wide variety of topics. One of the features, not the bugs, of Daily Wire Plus is the fact that we openly disagree about all of this stuff. I share my opinions about what I think Candace is saying. She shares her opinions about what she thinks that I'm saying.
It is amazing how much they disagree when so much of their content is them saying the same exact thing over and over and over again with very little interrupt.
Battle it out. It's one of the things that you get at Daily Wire. When it comes to Candace's defense of those remarks, I think Candace is dead wrong on what she said. While respecting her relationship with Kanye, she knows Kanye better than I do.
Except for now, apparently. I'm honestly a little proud of Ben Boy now. Holy shit. He actually went and went against Candace. Neat.
Okay, whatever. All of that I'm sure is true, and I will take that for granted. What she said about Kanye, I radically disagree with. I think that she is dead wrong. I think that it is not it betrays a lack of understanding about anti-Semitism and the scope of anti-Semitism. But we're allowed to have those disagreements. That's the way this works.
And similarly, Derry Boring, who...
You know, I'm fucking proud. Ben Shapiro managed to notice anti-Semitism. Now, granted, he is Jewish, so I would assume that would kind of come part and parcel, but he managed to notice it. I'm actually kind of proud of the guy. There's a little bit of a spine in there yet.
Who's, I think, co-CEO of the Daily Wire. He also wrote, "Do you agree with Candace's defense of Kanye's comments? Answer, I disagree with a lot of it. Question, so why did Daily Wire allow her to say it and invite him to her premiere? Answer, allow, we aren't in the business of telling our hosts what to think, say, or do." Now, that kind of attitude that you can disagree with one of your hosts, but still have them as part of your platform and still talk about it and still be friendly with them, that is exactly what we should want in the right-wing movement.
I wonder how many left-wing people they're going to actually have in their movement then. Or, you know, does the line of disagreement stop around economics and trans people? But, anywho.
However, despite those words, as many people, myself included, did notice, the official Daily Wire account didn't promote Candace's premiere where she had Kanye, and the other Daily Wire hosts were not in attendance of that premiere, though they do all have other engagements. I think Ben is in Israel and Matt Walsh is on his college tour, but some people might wonder, all right, well, if this is not a problem, why
Off-White Mage, thank you for redeeming your points for an well.
couldn't the scheduling have been changed so that you could attend this premiere of your platform's film? Or at the very least, why could you not have promoted it or said congratulations for it on your social media? But that wasn't done either, even though that could be done no matter where you are in the planet, what other engagements you have. And so basically, this is my position on the whole Kanye West situation. I, like Candace, would like to know more before I condemn him. Because I may be burning some bridges here, because I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but I don't think—
You're not burning any bridges, believe me. Being on the far right, you will probably not burn too many bridges with anti-Semitism, especially if it's coded well enough. I hate to paint with a broad brush like that, and it's not that all conservatives are anti-Semites, it's that it's very easy to find them in the right-wing movement. I'm sorry.
Talking about certain Jewish people who you happen to know counts as anti-Semitic. And I don't know if that's what Kanye West was trying to do. Talk about the people he actually knows in the industry that he's had experiences with.
He just said Jewish people. Jesus Christ.
Or just condemn all Jewish people. We don't know enough from that tweet, in my opinion. And I will also say that if you—
You don't have to condemn all Jewish people to be anti-Semitic. Like, when you start engaging in the dog whistles, you're doing an anti-Semitism. In your heart of hearts, you may not hate the Jews, but you still are doing an anti-Semitism. It's just a thing you're doing at that point.
You are someone who doesn't like Kanye's tweet, to the point where now you also don't like Candace Owens, and you also think that it's bad that the Daily Wire employs Candace Owens, who is friends with Kanye West, then you are ridiculous. Because let's face it, that level of toxicity, that level of guilt by association, that would not apply if Kanye West had said those same words about other black people or about white people. I think it's fair to say that you cannot like what Kanye West said while at the same time still acknowledging that the reaction to it, the reading is to cancel not only Kanye, but anyone associated with Kanye who still associates with Kanye. That is cancel culture. That is exactly what the right criticizes the left for all the time. And ultimately,
The right does cancel culture more than the left does. It's just they do it to us. Look, the original cancel culture is religious shunning, and there is more religious shunning within right-wing culture than there is within left-wing culture. The left does engage in cancel culture a lot, and there's problems with it and limitations to it, which I've pointed out several times in my own videos. I even did a video on the left eating itself to talk about this issue. However, the point still stands. It's very easy to read what Kanye West said and come to the conclusion, yeah, no, he was doing an anti-Semitism. But you gotta remember, there's a difference between Kanye being an anti-Semite and doing anti-Semitism. But there's also not so much of a difference that it truly matters. While, yes, you can have somebody who's not anti-Semitic say anti-Semitic things, when you are a person with a platform, part of the responsibility of that platform is making sure that your message is delivered well. If my message is being delivered in a way that reads as anti-Semitism, that's a failure on my part. Likewise, it's a failure for Kanye West if he's going to deliver a message that comes across as anti-Semitic. That's a him issue, not a me issue, not a you issue. And defending it is stupid. So the BSC said would be fucked up if it was against black or white people too, Lauren. She does. So Lauren does have a bit of a point, though. If somebody said that about white people, there'd be less of a reaction than there is when you say it about Jewish people. But I think that a lot of that comes down to the fact that we're more vigilant when it comes to racism and anti-Semitism than we are in other categories of shit. But there's another part of this as well. The Holocaust Museum tried to engage with Kanye and say, hey, you know, I understand that you made some comments about the Holocaust, about Jewish people. We get that you did that. Would you maybe want to tour the Holocaust Museum to see what actually happened, see how the Holocaust happened? And Kanye literally went, no, I don't need to do that. The several thousand kids who are killed via abortions, that's my Holocaust. Like, what? What? The fuck? Anywho, how many of you guys think about all that in the comment section below? I've given my opinions. I'm disgusted, but, you know, that's not new for any of this. Yeah, tone deaf is definitely a word I would use for it. That's a nice word I would use for everything. But let me know what you think in the comment section below, and as always, everybody, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. Click the like button if you haven't already. Go to the Patreon if you haven't done that, and insert in the video tagline here.